YouTube's new policy will be removing election results videos that have baseless information in them. So stick around. I'm going to be sharing my thoughts regarding this. That's coming right up. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. And if this is your first time here, and most importantly, you are open to suggestions and change, please consider subscribing and then banging that bell. And that way, you will not miss a single beat when it comes to getting a better grip on your life. Also, I want to start off the show by paying a special props to this channel sponsor, the Discover Community Network. For all of your product and service needs from the most trusted professionals in the industry, please visit www.discovercommunitynetwork.com. That's www.discovercommunitynetwork.com. You can also visit a subsidiary of the Discover Community Network known as the DCN Internet Radio Network. On that site, there are a bunch of talk and radio internet stations for your listening needs. So check it out at www.dcninternetradionetwork.com. One more time, www.dcninternetradionetwork.com. Both those links are below in the description, about a third of the way down. And while you're on those sites, you can find out how to reach out to my friend Troy, who owns the company. If you send him an email, feel free to mention Coach Eli sends you with lots of love. All right. Let's get right to it because this one's going to be a doozy. This one's going to definitely be a doozy. And I got to tell you, it just really baffles me how this facade can continue 1 month after the election. 1 month after the election, we still have the current president, Donald Trump, not conceding and still going out there and saying that massive voter fraud has been committed, which is definitely not true at all. It is not true at all. He's gone out there and filed a bunch of lawsuits, and for the most part, every single one of them has been dismissed, even if it involved a Republican or conservative panel of judges in that particular state. He's just been denied. Why? Because all of his claims are baseless. And if we go back, several weeks ago, when the Department of Homeland Security, the head of the Department of Homeland Security came out and said that this has been one of the safest elections in history, one of the most secure elections in history. Well, Trump obviously didn't like that, but when you have the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, the head saying that, hey, this has been the most secure election in history, that says something right there. More so proving that, all of this talk of voter fraud instigated by the current president, Donald Trump, is baseless. It's bogus. It's just not true. But the facade still continues. It's gotten so bad to the point of where a bunch of content creators out here on YouTube, let's not even mention Twitter and Facebook and other platforms where this happens all day, every day. But a lot of content creators out here on YouTube have decided to play along with this, in my opinion, and capitalize off of it. Now, I'm going to mention a couple channels here. Look, I'm not here to attack anyone. I'm just here to state my opinions. When something is actually an opinion, I will say it's an opinion. If something is a fact, and, it is a fact that, Joe Biden won the election fair and square, I'm not going to say that that's an opinion. I'm not going to come out and say that, voter fraud is an opinion of many people on the right, because it's not an opinion. It's just simply not true. It's baseless. There's nothing to base an opinion off of that. What are you basing your opinion off of? A couple of channels that I follow. I want to mention a few things, and I'm going to get into an article here that was written on cnet.com regarding what YouTube's going to be doing or started doing effective immediately. I believe this started today to actually combat this. But let me talk about, first of all, the channel, TheQuartering, run by a guy named Jeremy. Congratulations, Jeremy, on the Quartering channel. You just reached 1 million subscribers. I know that you've been working hard for that, and you hit some road bumps, but man, you kept pushing forward, and I'm proud of you. Jeremy, I'm going to give you a big round of applause. Congratulations, Jeremy. Now, Jeremy from the Quartering channel, I love your content, man. I think you're a good guy, and you create some great content. And you also did a piece on this on your channel earlier today. And you mentioned something that I wanted to kind of debunk here, or actually state my opinion on the fact that you were saying people should be entitled to their opinion out here on YouTube. I agree with you, bro. I'm all for free speech, even though you're more on the right and I'm more on the left. I've come out before and I've said, hey, I'm a slight left liberal. I'm not a liberal extremist, and I'm not on the right at all. I'm actually more down the middle. I'm more about what makes sense for the best overall interest of everyone, whether you're on the left or right, whether you're independent, libertarian, whatever. I love everyone. And I like aspects of politics that make sense for everyone, regardless of your political party views or political party preference. But Jeremy, you came out and you said that people should be entitled to their opinions. And if their opinion is that massive voter fraud is going on, which it isn't, if that's their opinion, they should be entitled to speak on it. Well, Jeremy, that is not an opinion. The fact is Joe Biden won the presidency fair and square. It is over. It is completely over. It has been certified. And that's why YouTube is taking this action. So again, how can you base an opinion on something that has no basis to it? It's baseless. What are you going to back your opinion on? How can you say something is an opinion when the facts, the proven facts, speak otherwise? And you have no proof at all to say that voter fraud ever happened. This is a ploy that's been, played out by President Donald Trump, who in my opinion has been acting like a big baby because he just doesn't like to lose. He's a sore loser, right? He's a very unprofessional, sore loser. And instead of President Trump focusing on some severe issues we have in our country right now, such as the COVID-19 pandemic, more and more cases are being, are happening daily. People are contracting this disease daily, and people are passing away daily from this. We also have systemic racism and other things that are more important to deal with. And President Trump just doesn't have a care for this. I mean, honestly, to you conservatives out there, this is just me asking. I mean, how can you respect somebody like that, regardless of whether they're, Democrat or Republican, conservative or liberal? Do you folks not care about the people that are suffering from this disease, that are passing away from this disease? Isn't that something more important than having a whiny baby president that's still in office, at least for, another few weeks? He's whining because he didn't get reelected. He lost the election fair and square. And because he's going out there making false claims that there was voter fraud with no proof, you folks are just supporting anything that comes out of his mouth. I think it's ridiculous. So Jeremy, I love you, bro. I love your channel, and I'm subscribed to you on 2 of my channels. Okay? Because I love your content, man. But sometimes, honestly, dude, it just makes me wonder if you really understand, what freedom of speech entails and what it doesn't entail. Okay? I mean, you're allowed to have your freedom of speech. Look, I talk about anything and everything out here on my channel, but I talk about it with logic and reasoning. And just because I'm slightly on the left doesn't mean that I'm biased. I am not. If a liberal makes a mistake, I will acknowledge it. If a conservative makes a mistake, I will acknowledge it. If an independent or a libertarian makes a mistake, I will acknowledge it. The facts are the facts. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. It doesn't matter whose mouth it comes out of. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And this is the one thing that conservatives don't understand. They can never admit when they're wrong. The conservatives I've dealt with out here on YouTube, don't care how much the facts are against them. If they believe in something, even though there's proof, proving otherwise regarding that belief, they will question it and they won't accept it. They're like sore losers. Why does this happen in my opinion? There's a lot of reasons. I have an opinion of it. I've mentioned it before. You're dealing, and with no disrespect, you're dealing with a lot of people that are lower class or lower middle class people that were not fortunate enough to have a great education, and they lack, basing their thoughts and reasoning in an educated way. So that's what I think is happening here. And a lot of these conservatives, they feel they've been silenced over the years, or they feel that they haven't had the same opportunities that many liberals have had, just because of the fact that they're conservative. No, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with how hard do you want to work? What do you want to make out of yourself? You have the same opportunities that liberals have. Everyone has the same opportunity out here. And I'm just really, really tired of conservative people. No disrespect. I love everybody. I'm tired of conservative people whining and complaining about things that are baseless. When you folks don't get your way, you whine like 2-year-old little kids. And you're grown people in your 30s, 40s, and 50s. Now, another channel, Tim Pool. I was watching his live stream earlier tonight. I am recording this video on Wednesday, December 9th, 2020. And Tim's not happy about this either. But Tim, on his live stream earlier tonight before I started recording this, was mentioning that, there are a lot of creators on YouTube that just create drama because they know it gets them a lot of traction and attention. Well, Tim, you're doing the same thing. No disrespect. Tim, you have like 1.3 or 1.4 million subscribers. Congratulations. Tim Pool is, I believe he's in his like early to mid 30s. He's a millennial political commentator on YouTube that runs the Timcast IRL channel and then the Tim Pool channel, etc. You can find out about it. I'm sure you've heard about Tim Pool. But, he's a 30, 35-year-old millennial, no big deal, that used to be more on the left. And all of a sudden, when Trump got into office, he switched to the right. And that typically does not happen. Why do I think this happened? This is my opinion, Tim Pool. Now, I know you're a big YouTuber. You'll probably never even see this video. But in case you do, here's the thing, Tim. Okay? How do we not know that you didn't switch your political party preference to conservative because you wanted to take advantage of the conservative audience that loves this type of content and will pay lots of money to any creator that takes their side on things, including the people out there that are still saying voter fraud happened, which it didn't happen. It didn't happen at all. So in essence, Tim, I think you're being a hypocrite because, in all honesty, based on what you've been doing lately, I think you're doing whatever you can to make as much money as possible. Well, I'll say the same thing to you, Tim, that I've said to other people out here. In 2021, and it's starting right now, I saw this coming. I've done videos on this before. In 2021, you're going to see a lot more channels removed from YouTube that are creating cringy drama or are just, saying, baseless things, stating them as facts when there's no proof or evidence, like the voter fraud. You played into that for a while, Tim. And tonight, Tim, congratulations. I was watching your show. You were getting a lot of super chats. You had 40,000 plus people on your live stream. You must have received at least $2,000 to $3,000 in super chats while I was watching your show. One of your super chats was a $300 super chat, pretty big. Now, most of the ones you were getting were 20, 50, 30, whatever. It's all good, right? But you got a huge $300 super chat, and you didn't acknowledge even one of your super chats. Now, I get the fact that you have a show to run and you don't want to lose focus. But someone sends you a $300 super chat, asks you a question, and you won't even take time to acknowledge that and answer that question when someone pays you $300? Come on, man. And see, you've got this conservative audience that is following you because you just so happen to be coming off, in my opinion, like you agree with this agenda that President Trump is putting out there saying that voter fraud happened when it didn't actually happen. It did not happen. Tim, if you're doing this for the money, I'm calling you out friendly. I'm not attacking you. I'm just saying this is my thought. If you're doing this solely for the money, well, hey, you know what? That's on you, man. But I'm going to tell you right now, if that's what you're doing it for the money, your time's going to come soon too, man. You've got 1 million plus, subscriber channel. So does Jeremy from TheQuartering. Do you guys want to continue doing these dumb, baseless things that are going to get your channel removed and all that hard work down the drain? I mean, come on, man. Seriously. That's just my thought. Now, let me go over to the browser source. You give me just 1 second here. Let's go to the browser source. And I'm going to go over this blog here. It's not a blog, it's an article from cnet.com. So let's just get right to it. YouTube will remove any new videos alleging Trump lost election because of fraud. Yes, YouTube, I'm going to give you a big round of applause for that. This needed to happen. I've been waiting for this to happen, and it's actually happening. People are texting me on my phone. People that I communicate with regularly saying, "Where are you?" Well, I'm recording a YouTube video. I got things to do. YouTube is accepting Joseph Biden's, we can call him Joe Biden, but that's very professional of you seeing that, to put it that way. YouTube is accepting Joseph Biden's victory as historical fact. That's because it is a historical fact. It's a historical fact. It's a fact. He won the election fair and square. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Trump's tried everything. He's tried suing everyone possible. And he's lost every time. Now the deadline came, election is certified, it's time to move on. But people are still not moving on from it, including President Trump. So this was written today at 7:03 a.m. Pacific time. I heard this story first thing in the morning on CNN. CNN announced this. And I'm like, yes, this is great. This is great. It was based on a blog that YouTube wrote. And I'm not going to go over the YouTube blog today, but I will be sharing that blog in the description below, along with this article, in case you folks want to go check it out and make some comments on there. So let's get down to it here. YouTube has more than 2 billion monthly visitors. Who wrote this? Joan E. Solzman wrote this. Sorry, Joan E. Solzman. Thank you. Wanted to give the article writer credit. YouTube will remove any new videos alleging that President Donald Trump lost the U.S. 2020 election to Joseph Biden because of fraud or errors. Google's massive video site said Wednesday on its YouTube blog. I'm happy for that. It's about time. Been waiting for this. This has nothing to do with me being slightly on the left, and it has nothing to do with me going against conservatives. It has to do with facts are facts. That's it. Facts are facts. And something that's baseless is just that. It's baseless. Essentially, YouTube now categorizes Biden's victory and Trump's loss as historical fact. I like how they say that. It is actually a historical fact, but they're very professional about it. I see how YouTube is handling this, and I think it's a little overly professional, YouTube, but I get why you're handling it that way. But it needed to be done, and I agree. And so it will crack down on new misleading videos alleging otherwise. Good. Good. I've been waiting for this. I'm tired. I'm tired of hearing about all this fake voter fraud. It's not real. It's baseless. Completely baseless. YouTube noted that its policies already prohibit videos alleging that fraud or errors changed the outcome of a historical U.S. presidential election, but in some cases, that had meant allowing controversial views on the outcome or process of counting votes of a current election, as election officials have worked to finalize counts. Okay, so before what they're saying there is that before the election was certified, as it just was, even though most of us knew, not most of us, but many of us knew that all of this voter fraud was baseless, we had to allow President Trump to, sue people, ask for recounts. He has the right to do all of that, whether it's baseless or not. So YouTube was saying, okay, so we let that go for the time being because the final results were not certified. Now, let's read on. Now that enough states have certified their results to determine Biden is president-elect, YouTube will remove any piece of content uploaded Wednesday or afterward that misleads people by alleging that widespread fraud or errors changed the outcome of the 2020 U.S. presidential election. Good for you, YouTube. I'm sick of this. It's like having a bunch of grown adults acting like little 2-year-olds that, someone took their toy from them, or someone else, is taking up some space in their sandbox. Wham! Get over it. Move on. The election is over. 4 years ago, when Trump beat out Hillary, us liberals were not that happy about it. Maybe we whined for a day, but then we said, okay, hey, congratulations. Even Hillary conceded that night when she lost. It's the mature professional thing to do. Why can't you conservatives do it the same way? The same way that us liberals did it 4 years ago when President Trump, beat out Hillary Clinton to become the president. Do you, and it's just, this is just a question with no disrespect. Do you conservatives feel like it's your way or no way? Are you not open to suggestions or change? Are you not open to working with liberals? We should all be working together as one united team. We're called the United States of America for a reason. We shouldn't be divided. But is there any reasoning to the conservatives out there that will go along with anything and everything that President Trump puts out there, even if it's completely baseless? Are you just believing everything that comes out of his mouth because he's the president? Or is that how you actually feel? And if that's how you actually feel, what proof do you have to back everything up? And if you have no proof, why are you playing along? Because you have nothing better to do? You're unhappy within yourself? You're projecting? What's really going on here? That's what I really want to know. Because I've been dealing with this for 4 years out here on YouTube. I've been attacked by conservatives just for being liberal, just for being a good guy. And I'm tired of it. Now YouTube is tired of that same game that's being played by our president, where he's brainwashing people to believe this, and then people are making content out of it and making lots of money off of it off of something that's baseless. I'm glad you're stopping this, YouTube. I'm really glad. Whoops. Any videos uploaded before Wednesday that are going to remain, any videos uploaded before Wednesday are going to remain up even if they make the same claims that Trump lost and Biden won because of fraud or errors. As much as I don't like that content, that's the right way to handle it, YouTube, because now the election has been certified. Now, you can't make those claims anymore once it's been certified. It's finalized. Before that, even though most of us knew it was already over, we had to just allow, President Trump to go through the process of suing who he needed to sue and do what he needed to do. Now, enough states have certified the results to the point of where there's no doubt. It's official. It's in the books. It's in history that Biden won. Now, there was this was on Twitter, YouTube Insider, December 9, 2020, at YouTube Insider. Our goal this election was to connect people to authoritative info, limit harmful misinfo, and remove violative content. Subsequently, authoritative news was widely watched and recommended, and since September, we removed 8,000 channels for violating our policies. Good. Now, the conservatives out there that I follow, like you, Jeremy, on the TheQuartering channel, and you, Tim Pool, who used to be liberal and now conservative all of a sudden, right? You guys don't like that. I love it. I love the purge of all these. I love the purge of all these channels YouTube is purging, because these people have grown and made money spreading a bunch of lies, deceit, and hate. I'm at a loss for words, because I actually feel this platform is finally getting cleaned up, and whoever remains on this platform is going to be able to create real greatness, not phony, fraud, fake, insightful hatred and all that stuff, right? Real good content. I'm really thrilled by this, YouTube. I'm really thrilled by it. Number 2, they said on YouTube Insider, on Twitter. Yesterday was a safe harbor deadline. Now that enough states certified their presidential election results, we'll remove any content published today or any time after that alleges widespread fraud or errors change the 2020 U.S. presidential election outcome. Great. Yeah, I can't add any more to that, YouTube. That's perfect. I've been waiting for this. Kind of like that Foreigner song, I've been waiting for a girl like you, right? I've been waiting, YouTube, for this to happen. I feel like singing that Foreigner song. I've been waiting. Whoop, I can't sing. Don't mind me. That's too high for me. The policy announcement from YouTube comes the day after the safe harbor deadline, when all challenges to an election at the state level are traditionally expected to be finished, a milestone that adds credence that the results of the election are beyond dispute. Yeah. So it's beyond dispute. Like, most people already knew that it was over. I think even most of the conservatives knew. Even Tim Pool was saying it's probably not going to turn around, but you never know. You never know. And Tim kept doing videos, and Tim kept feeding into it because, Tim, you wanted that conservative audience to come to your channel and your live streams and feed you super chats unlike anything you've seen. You capitalized off of this, man. And I to be honest with you, I don't even know whether to believe your views or not. Because a lot of the stuff you were talking about just didn't make any sense. But people were paying you money for it, so that's why you kept doing it, right? That's an opinion. I'm not attacking you, Tim. That's my opinion. YouTube and social networks, Facebook and Twitter, have all wrestled with election misinformation in the U.S. highly contested election. Yep, they've all been dealing with the same thing. Now it's YouTube's turn. Good. These companies' policies draw controversy not only for what they allow and what they remove, but also for the platform's ability or lack thereof to adequately enforce the rules they set. Right, I agree. I can't add any more to that. Google CEO Sundar Pichai was hauled in front of Congress twice in just the 4 months ahead of the election, each time being upbraided for perceived failures in what YouTube leaves up and bias in what it takes down. Well, that's what Trump was doing. He was trying to change Section 220 of the Communications Decency Act, which would hold YouTube and other social media companies, legally responsible for what people put on the platform. But obviously that didn't go through. He tried to put through an executive order, but that didn't change anything. It didn't change the law. Now I wonder what Biden's going to do regarding Section 220 of the Communications Decency Act, or if he'll even touch it. Maybe it's good just the way it is. I've had my thoughts about it, differently in the past, but I think it's good just the way it is. All right. Let's continue here. YouTube has 2 billion monthly users and is the world's biggest source of online video. No kidding. That's absolutely a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact right there. Are you conservatives going to come out and say that that number is fraudulent? That YouTube has 2 billion monthly users? You're not going to contest that, are you? I mean, I'm joking. I'm just having a little fun here, but come on. That's just as much a fact as Joe Biden legitimately winning the presidency. The company also said it is changing its informational panel for U.S. presidential election results, which are fact check boxes that show up at the top of some YouTube search results and below some videos. YouTube will update this panel to note that states have certified presidential election results with Biden as president-elect and to link to the Office of the Federal Registrars 2020 Electoral College results. The panel will continue to include a link to Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency and explain that states certify results after ensuring ballots are properly counted and correcting irregularities and errors. The bottom line is the election's been certified. It's time for everyone to go home, relax. It's time to focus on more important things. How to stop this virus. We have vaccines that are about to be distributed, right? We need to keep masking up. We need to keep protecting ourselves from this deadly virus here and focus on that rather than focus on this garbage that's been going on out there with election fraud, which is not true. It's not true. It did not happen. In addition, YouTube released some statistics about its enforcement and other actions so far related to the election. Those election results information panels showed up beneath more than 200,000 election-related videos, the company said, adding that the panels were shown more than 4.5 billion times. That's great, YouTube. Keep doing that. That is awesome. It's your version of the fact-checking. I love it. Since Election Day, fact-check information panels showed up over YouTube search results more than 200,000 times. That's great. The system is getting better. That's my opinion. I think it should be a fact, but that's my opinion. Including for voter fraud-related queries such as Dominion voting machines and Michigan recount. Can you believe that Trump, was saying that Dominion voting machines are broken? Wham! Wham! I wish I had a baby sounding, a baby crying, sound bite. I'd be playing that right now. Wham! Like, what didn't this guy try to do to overturn this election? All because of the fact that he got beat fair and square and he doesn't know how to lose. He's a sore loser. He's had everything handed to him his entire life. That's my opinion. Even his dad gave him his first $1 million to invest, and that's how he became a multi-billionaire. And from what I hear, he's in a lot of debt. So he probably isn't really even worth that much net-wise. You're going to see a lot more investigation happening to Trump after he's out of office. In the meantime, what's he going to do? Now he's going to go try to pardon as many people as possible because he just wants to screw up the system because he's a sore loser. That's what he's doing. I'm not stating anything that the mainstream media hasn't stated or isn't true. I'm just stating true facts here. It's ridiculous. Adding that the panels were shown more than 4.5 billion times. Since Election Day, fact-check information panels, okay, I read that over 200,000 times, including for voter fraud, and I read that already. I read the whole thing. I was rereading it. Dominion voting machines and Michigan recount. Okay, we're almost done here. YouTube said it has terminated more than 8,000 channels and thousands of harmful and misleading elections-related videos since September. It said that 77% of those removed videos were taken down before they hit 100 views. Good. You're getting quicker. Now, YouTube, start getting rid of all the cyber bullies, all the hateful, inappropriate content, vulgar language, all the racism, get rid of all that. Let's clean up this whole platform, and all the good creators like me we'll keep it going, and we'll make it even bigger and better. And you folks will make more money at YouTube and Google and Alphabet Inc., and so will we as creators. But I really like how this is going, YouTube. I really like this. It said more than 70% of video recommendations on election-related topics directed people to news sources that YouTube deems as authoritative. That was a good thing to do during the elections. And when it comes to misleading information, it's a good thing that you're silencing those, or you're squashing those, or now removing them. But I honestly feel if you have independent creators that are doing the right thing, such as the mainstream media, I think the mainstream media and independent creators should have, the same opportunities to rank for those videos. I agree with the ones that are misleading the public with, misleading information. But as far as independent creators doing the right thing like me, we should have the same chance to rank as authoritative voices, aka the mainstream media. And I think YouTube has been doing a good job of that lately. It said the top 10 authoritative news channels were recommended more than 14 times more than the top 10 non-authoritative channels on election-related material. I can understand why you did that, YouTube. I can understand because so many independent creators out here misrepresented what happened just to get traction and to leverage that conservative market, in my opinion, that was brainwashed by President Trump to actually believe that voter fraud happened when it never did. And all these creators that have been making content out of this, especially Tim Pool, for example, has made a killing doing this. And again, Tim, I question whether, are you really conservative, or did you just become conservative because you knew it was going to be more profitable for your YouTube channel? I'm not attacking you. I'm asking you an honest question. That's why YouTube is taking action like this, because he knows there are people deliberately creating this content to mislead people and make lots of money doing something that's not right. It's not morally or ethically right. It's just not right. You're misleading people. Definitely against the terms of service. All right, so that's that. Now, I'm going to go back to full screen. You like my little subscribe little button up top there? Well, you can't click that, but you know how to subscribe. Let's go back to full screen here. Yeah, getting ready for the holidays with the nice background there. Folks, if you want to check out that article, it's below the description. Also, I'm going to link the latest blog that was written today as well, December 9th, 2020, by YouTube. It's called Supporting the 2020 U.S. Election. If you want to check either one or both of these web links, they're going to be below towards the top of the description. Folks, I just got to say this. It's time to move forward. It's time to get back on track. It's time to focus on more important things. We've got a pandemic we need to deal with, and it's spiraling out of control, and our current president doesn't care. Our president-elect that's going to take over on January 20th is already doing something about it. Just think about it. Think about it. What's the right thing to do? What's it going to take for the people that are supporting Trump's false claims that there was voter fraud? What's it going to take for you folks to understand what's best for the overall aspect of everyone in this country, not just yourself? You got to stop thinking in selfish ways and think about what's best for everyone, including yourself. And that's where I'm going to wrap things up here today. Folks, if you enjoyed this video, wait till the end screen here in a second and click on one of the videos recommended to you. I'd appreciate that. Please like, share, subscribe. And that's going to do it, folks. Another video will be coming to this channel soon. So stay tuned. With that being said, have yourselves a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye. Bye.